1 year away from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And Canada, being one of the host nations, is definitely preparing. Plus, there's a bit of optimism around the squad. The excellent and consistent performances by players like Alistair Johnston, Jonathan David, the emergence of players like Moise Bombito, Derek Cornelius, Promise David. Does Canada have a shot at doing something special at the FIFA World Cup? I'm not talking about winning it, but maybe going at least deep in the competition. Personally, I'd love for Canada to get out of the group at the World Cup and play some knockout fixtures. But before we get to all of that, my friends, there is another competition that is about to begin. It is the 2025 Gold Cup. And while with the World Cup, Canada is not one of the favorites to win it, the Gold Cup, Canada definitely is. So today on the One Soccer Broadcast Network, we're doing something that you guys have gotten used to and have seemingly enjoyed. We are simming the entire 2025 Gold Cup from start to finish and see who wins it. Of course, as always, my friends, before we begin, if you do enjoy the content, please hit the like button for us and the subscribe button with the little noti bell so you don't miss out on any other future videos on the channel. We do some good stuff around here. Let's go and sim the 2025 Gold Cup and find out how far does Canada get. Without any rigging, whatever happens, happens. First, let's remind everyone of the 4 groups at the 2025 Concacaf Gold Cup. Group A, it is Mexico, Costa Rica, Suriname, and the Dominican Republic. Group B, and this is where Canada is, it is Canada, Honduras, El Salvador, and Curacao. Now, Group C IRL is Panama, Jamaica, Guatemala, and Guadeloupe, but even with mods on FC25, there's just no Guadeloupe. I can't get them, so it will be Nicaragua that takes their place. I don't think that's gonna affect things too much. And finally, Group D, it is the struggle bus of the United States of America, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, and the special invite guests in Saudi Arabia. You've seen the groups, you've seen the matches, everyone plays each other once. The top 2 in each group advance to the knockout rounds, so let's go to the end of the group stage matches and find our 8 quarterfinalists. Hopefully Canada gets there and doesn't disappoint all of us. The group stage matches of our Concacaf Gold Cup have come to an end, guys. Let's go group by group and see who is advancing to the quarterfinals. We're starting in Group A, and there is already a bit of a shock. You'd think that Mexico would top this group, but it was actually Suriname. They beat Mexico 2-1, so Suriname tops the group. Mexico in second. Dominican Republic beat Costa Rica, and somehow Costa Rica, here on FC25 anyway, lost every single match. I don't know how realistic this is, but it's Mexico and Suriname that progresses, and Mexico finishing in second has massive implications, which you'll see later on. In Group B, Canada does top the group, but it was trickier than expected. 1 win, 2 draws for Canada against Honduras, El Salvador, and Curacao. Honduras ended up on 4 points, El Salvador on 4 points, and Curacao bottom of the group, but they had 3 points. But it is Canada in first that progresses and Honduras in second. Group C went as it probably should. Maybe Panama should be in first and Jamaica should be in second, but Jamaica tops the group on 7 points, while Panama in second. Guatemala and Nicaragua, they were not very competitive. And in Group D, also no surprises. The United States do top the group on 9 points. Saudi Arabia in second on 6 points. Trinidad and Tobago and Haiti also not very competitive. Maybe Trinidad could have done a little bit better, but ultimately Trinidad and Tobago and Haiti, they finished on a point each. So we're off to the quarterfinals. And remember, I talked about the massive implications of Mexico finishing second. Well, because they finished second and not first in their group, it is the United States versus Mexico in the quarterfinals. Canada will play Panama, also a very, very tricky affair. Suriname will take on Saudi Arabia, and Jamaica will take on Honduras. So here, either Jamaica or Honduras will be in the last 4. Let's begin figuring out our semi-finalists. Not 100% the correct lineup for the United States, but most importantly, there is no Christian Pulisic. Will it be the United States? Will it be Mexico that progressed to the semi-finals? 3, 2, 1. It will go to the United States. Lose. I was gonna say the Mexico, but that doesn't make any sense. United States are out. Mexico, the strongest side, they progress as they should. Unfortunately, that's the end of the road for the United States, and if the United States do face Mexico, this is probably a pretty realistic result anyways. We all expect Mexico to get really deep in the competition, and they are doing it here. All right, the next quarterfinal, it is a big one. It's Canada versus Panama. I tried to make Canada's lineup as accurate as possible, so as you can see, there is no Stefan Eustachio, and that is because he's playing with Porto at the FIFA Club World Cup, so technically he is part of the squad, but he won't be able to join us until Porto gets gets eliminated. So let's say at least until the semifinals. Canada has to get by Panama without Stefan Eustachio. If they get to the semifinals, then he can join them up. It sounds a bit fair, right? It does. Let's see if Canada can progress against Panama. 3, 2, 1. Please? Yes! Johnston took a red card, though. That means he's gonna miss the semifinal. Promise David in the 9th, and then Jonathan David in the 84th. Martinez scored for Panama late to equalize, but then Joe David comes in clutch. Seems like Canada was the better side by just a little bit. 6 shots, 6 chances, 51% possession, 2-1, probably a fair scoreline. Off we go to the next quarterfinal, and this is an interesting one. Suriname versus Saudi Arabia. Can Suriname continue doing whatever they're doing here? Something magical. Can they make it to the semifinals of the Gold Cup? 3, 2, 1. They gotta beat Saudi Arabia, and they beat Saudi Arabia, bro. What happened? Dude, if you're from Suriname, congratulations, you're a Gold Cup semifinalist. Saudi Arabia, have a look in the mirror, guys. What happened here? And the last quarterfinal, Jamaica versus Honduras. Probably Jamaica are the favorites here. Can they beat Honduras? Yes, they can. Honduras is out in the quarters. Jamaica, welcome to the last 4. Okay, so we got our 4 semifinalists of the Gold Cup, but again, because Mexico finished 2nd in the group, it actually messed everything up. Since Canada was 1B and Mexico finished 2A here, it is 1B versus 2A in the semifinals, which means it's Mexico versus Canada. And the other semifinal is Suriname versus Jamaica. Mexico finishing 2nd in their group here made everything worse, not only for Mexico, but also for Canada. Instead of having an easier opponent in the semifinals, they gotta play each other. Well, I guess let's see what happens. Semifinal, Mexico versus Canada. Remember that Alistair Johnston is suspended, so he cannot play. Nico Sigurd will come in his place, but Stefan Eustachio does also come into the midfield for Nathan Saliba. Can Canada beat Mexico and get their revenge? Can they do... Bro, Kone in the 3rd minute. That's it. 1-0. The game was as even as it could possibly get. 50% possession, 6 shots for Mexico, 5 shots for Canada, 5 chances for Mexico, 5 chances for Canada. Larea came on, Schaffelberg came on. Mexico just couldn't put one in. To be fair, this has been a very tough path to the final. Panama in the quarterfinals, Mexico in the semifinal, but now they will get rewarded with either Suriname or Jamaica in the final. They're both beatable. So who will Canada face in the Gold Cup finale, guys? Will it be Suriname or Jamaica? 3, 2, 1. Jamaica. Honestly, Suriname, I congratulate you. Getting this deep is a huge accomplishment, but Jamaica is just a bit better. And hats off to Jamaica, too. I mean, you're in the Concacaf Gold Cup final. Welcome to the 2025 Gold Cup final. Canada versus Jamaica. Here we are. Look at that tifo of Jonathan David. Are we gonna have that? BMO? Toronto, if you're watching, I want to see a tifo like that for opening match in Toronto when the 2026 World Cup comes to Canada. As both squads come out onto the field, and there's the beautiful Gold Cup trophy. Let's get it going. Jamaica starts with the ball. I tried to get the rosters as close to humanly possibly as I could, guys. Obviously, there's some limitations, like I can't get Jebison onto the Canada team because he's not registered as a Canadian player yet. As the ball is played into Ali Ahmed! Ali Ahmed in the 5th minute. Why is he bald? I don't know. It's FC 25, but he's bald here. It doesn't. Ali Ahmed gives Canada the 1-0 lead. What a ball! What a finish! Okay, it's 1-0. So Canada takes the lead in the 6th minute. But yeah, obviously the tournament hasn't been 100% accurate, but it is just for fun anyways, as Jamaica tries to respond. I tried to make Jamaica's roster as close to their starting roster as possible as well. Obviously, Bailey, Latibaudiere to Russell in the midfield to Johnson. Jamaica is looking for a response. Jamaica going forward. Johnson, okay, gives it away to Eustachio. Johnston. De Fougereau, he's also apparently bald. Promise David. Alistair Johnston moving forward. Sees the run. Tajon Buchanan. Buchanan does excellent. Buchanan in the box. Tajon finish. No! Why? You could have just shot. De Fougereau steps in. Jonathan David, muscled, gets the ball off Pinnock. It's going to be a free kick. Okay, Canada's got a free kick. 25th minute. Jonathan David! That is magnificent! Oh me, oh my! A beautiful Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful strike. Cold as ice. Pinpoint finish, my friends. It is 2-0 Canada here in complete control. What are we witnessing here? Ali Ahmed in the 6th, Jonathan David in the 25th, 2-0 Canada. Canada winning the Gold Cup, at least here on FC 25. I'm cool with that. Jamaica with the possession, looking for a response. They have some good players still, like Michail Antonio, obviously, as he is on the ball. He will lay it off. Palmer. Jamaica is looking good. Jamaica is in. Crepeau! Huge save. Huge save. Jamaica should have one back, but Crepeau robs them. Leon Bailey, right before halftime, will take this corner in the 41st minute. Jamaica is no slouch. They're a good team. It's out by Luc de Fougerolles. Palmer. Demarai Gray with the shot. There is the response. We said Jamaica should have one, and they get one, and it's game on. It is game on in the 43rd minute. It's a great finish, no less what they deserve. 2-1 going into the second half. Were we celebrating too soon? We're in the 47th minute now. The ref does call it here. Okay, it's getting interesting, guys. Joe David will kick off for Canada in the second 45. Let's not blow it here, guys. Now let's let's not bottle things. Let's get one more back. Kone. Out wide. Ahmed. Back to Kone. Back to Ahmed. Ishmael Kone taking the space. Kone drops it off to Eustachio. Promise David. Eustachio is in. There is the third. There is the third. Promise David to Stefan Eustachio. He comes into the squad after playing in the FIFA Club World Cup and contributes in the final. What an exciting final this has been. We've already seen 4 goals, 3 for Canada, 1 for Jamaica. Still plenty of time to play in the second half, but it is 3-1. Canada has a little bit of breathing room. It's 3-1, a 2-goal cushion. But we've seen Jamaica create chances in this game, and I wouldn't say they're out of it just yet. Johnson takes it down nicely. Antonio, the experience. He'll play a wonderful ball to Gray once again, and he is in. Guys, what's going on? It's 3-2. Automatically 3-2. In the 56th minute, Gray gets another, and Jamaica is right back in it. Guys, where is the defense? I'll be honest with you. When it was 2-0 and 3-1, I thought that's it. But apparently not. 3-2. A thriller, a 5-goal thriller so far. And Jamaica just keeps going forward. It's Gray once again. We got to cover him better. Jamaica is looking really good. Jamaica is looking excellent. Bassong steps up. Johnston to Buchanan. Relieves some pressure. 64th minute approaching. Buchanan. Will we see more goals here? Will we see a comeback from Jamaica? Will Canada extend their lead? It goes into Promise David. One touch to Jonathan David. Joe David, edge of the box to Promise. Left-footed strike. Easy for Blake to collect. Russell, he goes out wide to Latibaudiere. Inside for Russell. Back into the midfield to Johnson. He will take the space. Palmer. Antonio. This is really dangerous from Jamaica. Really dangerous. Cornelius intercepts, but it goes to Lee. Johnson once again. He's been controlling the midfield. Du Fougerolles, what a interception. Getting very late, and now Jamaica is becoming desperate. They're becoming very desperate. Palmer. Antonio. Hold the line, Canada. Palmer once again. Johnson, he's making a run forward. They're trying to find Gray, you can tell. There goes the ball to Gray. Oh my. Oh my. Brilliant from Demarai Gray. Incredible from him. Johnson, edge of the box. Palmer. Severe pressure from Jamaica. De Fougerolles puts in a leg, and Canada gets it out in the 88th minute. There goes Kone charging forward. He has so much space. Will he go out wide? Yes, he will. Tajon Buchanan. Tajon is in. Tajon with a shot. Tajon will seal the deal. Tajon Buchanan. He makes it 4-2 for Canada. And Canada surely now will win the 2025 Gold Cup. Holy moly. I'm at the edge of my seat here. Whew, even though it's just FC 25. I know it's not real life, guys, but I'm trying to make it as hype as possible, okay? We have 6 goals in a final here. Pressure relieved one more time in the 90th minute. Tajon Buchanan, and there goes the final whistle. 91 minutes played, 6 goals, so much drama. Canada kept taking the lead. Jamaica kept coming back. But before Canada lifts lifts this Gold Cup, I have to say Jamaica was definitely full value in this entire competition. They were extremely competitive in the final, and maybe that's exactly what we'll see at the 2025 Gold Cup, as the bald Luc de Fougereau stands beside Alistair Johnston and Jonathan David as they lift the 2025 Gold Cup. Canada, Canada, Canada. As Canadian soccer lovers, this is exactly what we would like to see happen at the 2025 Gold Cup. It would be an incredible boost to all our players' morale and all our confidence going into the actual 2026 FIFA World Cup. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this video and how accurate it was. Take care of yourselves, my friends. Take care of each other, and we'll see you in the next upload on the channel. Canada here, according to FC25, 2025 Gold Cup champions. Peace, 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 peace. One more time for the celebration. Peace.